Thanks for joining us today as we dive into getting on with growing and vigilance in crop care. It's an exciting year at Bayer as we add two new fungicides to our portfolio. First, we have Prezero Pro, our new T3 fungicide for Fusarium head blight in wheat, with 3 active ingredients and 2 modes of action. We have lots of field demos out this year, so make sure you get a chance to take a look at it. Also, we have a new fungicide for corn and soybeans called Delero Complete, and it's available for this growing season. It adds a third mode of action to the proven performance of Stratego Pro that many of you are already very familiar with, giving you even better disease control. These added modes of action, of course, are also a part of a good disease resistance management strategy. And of course, we still have our proven performers available, including Stratego Pro, which offers excellent disease protection for corn and soybeans, and ProLine, which many corn growers have been relying on for years for effective protection against DON. In the upcoming video, you'll learn more about Delero Complete fungicide and also about scouting and setting up trials using the Climate FieldView platform, our digital ag tool that has a fit for every farm. If you have any questions during the video, please post them in the chat and there are reps available to answer your questions. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Hi, I'm Todd Woodhouse, Bayer Market Development Agronomist in South Central Ontario. Today I'm standing beside a plot near Elmville, Ontario, and I'd like to discuss a new fungicide, Delero Complete, which has received registration for corn, soybeans, and wheat. Bayer Crop Science did numerous trials throughout the province with Delero Complete this summer. Many observations were made, images were captured both on the ground and with drones, and we also captured satellite imagery in our field health through Climate FieldView. I'd like to share some of those results with you and show you what I experienced this summer. Drone images showed very little difference between treatments in corn. However, satellite imagery and field health from Climate FieldView provided evidence that there was a difference, starting as early as 2 weeks after application and continuing in early to mid-September. Delero Complete is a new fungicide that contains 3 modes of action, which are prothioconazole, trifloxystrobin, and fluopyram. The addition of fluopyram will provide enhanced control of northern corn leaf blight, along with other disease control such as common and southern rust, eye spot, gray leaf spot, and tar spot. Disease pressure in this plot shown was extremely low. Yield results from the 60-acre comparison showed Delero Complete had a 4 bushel advantage over untreated areas, with no difference in harvest moisture. Delero Complete was also tested on soybeans. Field health imagery once again showed differences between untreated areas and areas of the field where Delero Complete was applied. Differences showed up 2 weeks after application and continued through to maturity. Drone images also provided clear evidence of disease control. The addition of fluopyram will enhance suppression of white mold in soybeans and provide control of frog eye leaf spot, septoria, charcoal rot, and phomopsis. This trial shown was sprayed once at R2, and the end result was a 3 bushel gain in yield over untreated using Delero Complete. Delero Complete will be available in 7.11 liter jugs, which will treat 30 acres of corn or soybeans. 113.8 liter drums will be available for 2022. Delero Complete is also registered for wheat for early season disease control. For more information on Delero Complete fungicide, please visit our website at cropscience.bayer.ca.
Welcome to Simcoe County. I'm Marika Patton, Territory Sales Manager with Bayer Crop Science.
And I'm Todd Woodhouse, also with Bayer Crop Sciences, Market Development Agronomist, covered in South Central Ontario. So as you can see, we're standing in a field of soybeans, and the reason we're at this particular field to talk about Stratego Pro is because of our field health imagery with Climate FieldView. Let me tell you what led us to this field. This particular field has a history of white mold, and in 2017, the grower did apply a fungicide to the majority of the field. But as you can see, there is an area of the field where he left an untreated check. At harvest, the outcome of this result was a 17 bushel difference between treated and untreated. Now, if we go to 2020, we can also see some field health imagery that shows us by the middle of August that there is a slight difference starting to show up in the field. We can see this by circling an area where this is happening. And then we can take a pin and mark it, and then we can look at the applications in this field to see if it lines up with the untreated check. And in this instance, it just happens to line up with the untreated check. So from here, with our pin in the field, we can now go and scout this field and see what it looks like.
All right, here we are, end of August, in a field of soybeans up to my waist. Hard to believe that back beginning of July, we were hemming and hawing about whether to put on a fungicide in soybeans. So it was July 6th when the grower was here ready to make that decision. Field has a history of white mold, but it was fairly dry, and you could see down the rows. But he made the decision anyways because of the history of white mold to put on an application of Stratego Pro. But he did leave a check strip to see if that paid or not, and we're able to see that in field view as well. So if we look over here on this side, this is where the check strip was, so it wasn't sprayed. You can start to see some wilting of those top leaves, and that's where we know we need to go in and pull out one of those plants. And sure enough, we've got white mold here right at the base. So the closer to the base of the plant can tell you when that application or when the infection happened. So lower on in the plant is when the infection happened at early flower. And if we're starting to see that infection near the top of the plant, we know it's a late infection. So one of the later flowers made that. So the application here went on right on time when we go to the other side, but it was R1.5 when you're starting to see those first mature flowers on those nodes. And then we know we're getting the product on those flowers before they fall and before they make the infection. With white mold, it has to be preventative. We see these symptoms a month after when those initial infections happen, which would have been around that early July, maybe the 10th or 12th of July, when the infection happened, about five days after we sprayed the rest of the field. So that's what we're seeing here. If we go to the other side of the check strip here, we can see very little white mold in here at all. You can find the odd plant because we've got such a nice thick canopy, but very, very clean. And I think the grower is going to see an excellent return on investment in this field.
So the nice thing about this field is that the farmer has the application in climate field view. So when it comes to harvest time, we'll know exactly what the return on investment was with the Stratego Pro application.
On any given year, it's difficult to predict the weather that's going to come after. But when you're at the critical time of early flower, putting on an application of Stratego Pro that's given consistent performance and consistent return on investment, it allows you to protect your crop right through till harvest. For more information, visit the Bayer Crop Science website.
Hi and welcome. We're so happy you're joining us today. Getting your data into one place, using your data to make operating decisions, and optimizing your inputs are the three pillars of the FieldView platform. We hope this season becomes your best season, and we want to show you how FieldView CP script tools will help fungicide experience this season. A few reminders: we have previous webinars that I really encourage you folks to watch. Setting up your virtual farm, scripting is always a great one, and scouting and satellite imaging, that's something we can always go back to. You need to go to www.climatefieldview.ca/webinars, and you can find all of those previous recordings. So Matt, I want you to go into the full app, the FieldView app, and I want to do a little bit of an analysis. So we know how important it is to leave check strips. Here in this field, we did an application. This is a 2019 example that we have of a canola fungicide. And on the left here, we have stuff that's been sprayed, and then on the right, the green box is areas a check that we've left. And I think it's very important to leave these check strips that we have, you know, just to make sure that is the climb worth the view? Are we getting what we need out of these products? We want to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do on our farm, and why not leave these great check strips? Some people will leave little boxes in corners of their fields where it's very, very high vegetation. And when I say a box, I mean like maybe 4 acres, maybe 2 acres, just an area. And then they're able to literally draw a field region and then know what those yields are. So let's see what you found here.
Yeah, and that's a great comment, Troy. The one thing I'll also mention about size of regions is make sure that when you're drawing them or applying, that you leave enough of a size that you get a representative combine header pass. So you would want at least 2, probably better is 3, 4. So make sure that if it's 1 sprayer pass, that we can at least fit 2 combine headers down that, if not more. But in this example, we've drawn our regions in the field, and like you mentioned, the purple is a treated area, the green is untreated. So when I select the green area first, which was untreated, pull that up, and it's gonna do its calculations and give me the numbers for what that region yielded, because we have the background yield information. The average yield on that untreated strip was 44 bushel an acre. And then we can close out of that. It tells us a few different things: the harvested acres, the moisture as well, which is useful information. And then also, funny enough, on the bottom here, we had different planting dates, so we can see how much of that zone was in a different planting date to make sure that it's a true comparison to what we're going to compare to next. So once we hit that, then we hit close, and now we'll switch over to our purple region, which is our treated region. And it was treated with Proline. It's going to generate this report for us, and we can see here that our harvested size is close to what it was on the untreated strip. We're right around 28 acres, and our yield was 49 bushel an acre. So we obviously see a 5 bushel an acre increase from the Proline application, and then we can confirm that our planter dates and our elevation and things like that are all consistent with what our untreated strip is, to make sure that it was really our fungicide that is causing the yield response and not some other variable.
That's great. Just another great example of know more, grow more, using our data to make operating decisions. So thanks a lot for that, Matt.
No problem.
Thanks for joining us today and getting to know more about Bayer fungicide products and the Climate FieldView platform. FieldView lets you see the bigger picture with easy-to-use field data management, and it allows you to visualize those data layers to help you better evaluate your crop's performance. It also gives you notifications on your mobile device about conditions on your farm in season. Visit our website, cropscience.bayer.ca, to discover a full lineup of Bayer solutions. Thanks for watching.